Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Holyoke Planning Board public hearings and public meetings of Tuesday, June 23rd, 2026. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing for the special permit of section 6464 increase in sign size and multiple signs for Stack Holyoke Maine LLC, 679 and 689 Main Street, SP special permit 2026-8.
I'll move.
Do I have a second? Do I have a second?
Seconded.
Roll call vote for Lauren,
Yes.
Rosanna,
Yes, ma'am.
Paul,
Yes.
and Scott.
Yes.
And is the proponent here to walk us through?
I'm Mark Dean. I'm the project architect.
Hi, Mark. Do you want to share screen to take us through?
Sure.
Give me 1 second to give you ability. All right, you're all set.
All right, you guys can see that okay?
Yes.
And if I change to that, can you see the elevations?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so this is a summary sheet of what we've asked for. The code allows for one sign by right on each elevation of the building, and a total of 150 square feet per elevation. Some of our elevations we're asking for one of the elevations we're asking for 2 signs, and a second elevation for asking for 3 signs. And then the remaining 2 elevations we have 0 signs. We have a total of 5 signs. We're allowed 4. And we're under the square footage, so we're only asking for an increase in the number of signs. If we look at the elevations, the southwest elevation and the southeast elevation are the 2 elevations that have signs. Both elevations have a sign that identifies public storage. The southeast elevation has a large sign on a stone wall that identifies the building as storage. And then there are 2 directional signs, and I will zoom in so that we can see them. The one is identifying the loading area. This is the loading area sign. And the second is the rental office. This is the rental office sign. Can you guys see that okay? I just zoomed in a little bit more. So there's a sign above the door that identifies the rental office, and a sign above the door that identifies the loading area.
And how big are each of those signs?
Yeah, so here's the sign
sound.
sizes are right on our drawing. So the loading door sign is 7 letters or 7 inches high. The total length is 2 foot 10 inches. Rental office is similar, 7 inches high, but it's a little bit longer because of the number of letters, 4 foot 8 inches.
Can you provide the square footages for those, please?
Right. So the total square footage on each elevation is identified here.
Right, but how about per each sign?
Per each sign. Let me see.
I mean, I know I can do the math, but I'd rather you say it than I.
Okay. Now you have to bear with me for 1 second. So the loading sign is 1.65 square feet, the loading sign. The rental sign is 2.72 square feet. So they're relatively small signs. If I could, I have a rendering of the exterior. If I could share that as well.
Sure. Yes, please.
I just have to stop and change screens here. So this is the rendering, and what's important here is that when you look at these buildings in true elevation, which is what you're judging on, you only see the flat surface. But when you look at it in elevation, you can see that each of those signs is sort of set off from each other on different parts of the building. This is the big storage sign on the southeast elevation, and this is the public storage sign, brand identifier. And then you can see over each of those doors are the directional office rental sign, rental office sign, excuse me, and the loading sign, just to give you a little bit of a perspective on how the signs interact with each other.
I think if you can just break down the square footage for each of the signs for us and just send that to us to just so we can attach it to the file, just so I know that you're under them allowable for all, but I think that would just be useful to have.
Just so I'm clear, are you counting just the square footage of the letters? Like, for example, public storage is
No, the whole orange.
the whole orange. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
be
give you
a
those
sign.
numbers individually, but yes.
Okay.
Cumulatively, we're under on each facade, we're under the 150 square feet.
Right. Right. Does any member of the board have any questions?
No.
Okay. Does staff have any questions?
Yes, thank you. Can you also talk about the pylon sign on sheet A2.3? It shows the pylon sign being refaced. Can
Yeah.
you, that doesn't seem to be in the chart and doesn't appear to be, given a square footage.
Yeah, I think it was our understanding that the pylon sign was a separately permitted sign.
Do you believe it's already been permitted?
I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on that. I mean,
Okay.
it is a new sign. It's going up with the building. So the square footage on this particular sign is 93.3 square feet.
So under the sign ordinance, it would state that, the understanding is that any refacing of a sign qualifies as a new sign. It would
Okay.
also have to comply.
So does that mean it would have to be 100, like smaller than 150 square feet? Or is it getting attached?
Oh, so that's to that point, you're right. So it is, you're all set. I'm thinking past, oh yeah, you're all set, because it would be over 80. So there would be we'll have to note in the notice of decision when the board gets there that there's also a pylon that shall not exceed, say, the 93.3. Because it wasn't included in the chart or in any of the calculations, but would still necessitate a special permit as well, or part of the special permit package as well.
Okay, well, we can add it to that chart with the square footage on it, so that and then on that chart, I'll break down the individual square footage for each sign.
Thanks.
Okay.
And just, yeah, having them on each face, but individual signs would be super helpful.
Yep.
for us.
Okay.
Thank you. Now that we talked about the pylon, does anybody on the board have any questions? And are there any members of the public that have any comments? Okay. I don't see any hands raised. So, Jeff, can you remind me if we have have anything that we can like work off of for a draft, a similar decision?
So there, just so you know, planning staff did put together a draft decision. It is in the folder. It's the board's draft. It's up to them to how to use it as they see
Yes,
fit.
of
Again,
course.
it's kind of missing some of the numbers because of the way it was broken down, and oftentimes we don't like to, do the math. We want the applicant to do the math to make sure that there's no misunderstandings when it gets put into the notice of decision.
Okay. So, if everyone on the board is satisfied, do I have a motion to close the public hearing? And I think we could potentially write this notice of decision this evening, depending on how long things go. I would love to do that just because we don't have a meeting on July 14th. I would love to not like hold these guys up if everyone's feeling good about that.
So moved.
Seconded.
Roll call vote for Lauren,
Yes.
Rosanna,
Yes, ma'am.
Paul,
Yes.
and Scott.
Yes.
Okay, do I have a motion to open the public hearing for special permit section 6464, increased sign size and multiple for Holyoke Mall Company, LP Pyramid, 50 Holyoke Street, SP 2026-11?
So moved.
Seconded.
Roll call vote for Lauren,
Yes.
Rosanna,
Yes, ma'am.
Paul,
Yes.
and Scott.
Yes.
Somebody's background is picking up. I can hear a conversation happening. Okay, do we have somebody from the Holyoke Mall Company who can walk us through this project?
I am the vendor for the Holyoke Mall project. Danielle Wilson with Take Four.
Hi, would you like to share screen
Sure.
and walk us through?
You're all set.
Great. And can everybody see my screen?
No, not yet. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So today's request is multiple signs on the same elevation. We are requesting 3 signs on the east elevation, 2 signs on the west elevation, and there is a monument sign as well at the entry point. I would like to note that these are replacements for existing signs. It's just a refresh, an upgrade for the existing signs. I'll go ahead and share screen. We'll start with that monument sign down here, and I could zoom in for your visual. This is a photograph of the existing sign on campus, or not on campus, on site. And you can see the rendering for the replacement sign. This sign is 52 square feet. And I'll pause for questions before I move on to the other elevations. Okay.
Could you just momentarily spend just a moment on describing the materials involved here?
Sure. We are using a fabricated aluminum base as well as cabinets. We will have halo illuminated letters. So the illumination will come from the back of the letters, not the face of the letters. And that's pretty much the basis of it. We'll also be putting in a new concrete foundation to support the new sign.
Is it replacing the whole of the monument sign that's there now? Like
It is.
there won't be the stores listed.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. It's gonna be a much cleaner look.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, I like
It's a nice
that.
improvement.
Yeah,
Lots-
it looks prettier. That other sign looks trashy.
Does this reflect a rebranding of the mall?
It's super easy.
I mean, yes, this is a new brand, but I will let Holyoke
Sure.
Mall and Alexander, I know that you were on if you want to speak to that.
Yes, that's correct. I'm the operations director at the Holyoke Mall, Alexander Sokolowski. Yes, this is the new logo design we are going with as part of our new branding.
Nice. It looks great.
Congratulations.
Any other
Okay.
comments before I move to the next page? Okay. We do have There's 3 of these. There's 2 at the larger size, 1 at a smaller size. We'll walk through each of those. At each of the tower entry points, we are replacing the sign that was existing with the new branded logo. We do have 2 at 58 square feet, and then there is a third at the 22 square feet. That square footage is only encompassing the letters itself. I can do the calculation for the larger signs if wished. Reviewing our location plan, we do have all 3 of these tower signs on the east elevation.
Okay, so what were they again? Size-wise, they were.
Yep, we have 1 at the 22 square feet
Yeah.
and 2 at the 58 square feet.
Okay, and just looking to staff, is that how we've done this previously for these, that we are only counting the letters, or should we be counting the whole?
So in
Area.
speaking with the building department, because of the nature of the way the sign is set up, the channel letters, it was looked upon as that we're drawing the box around the letters. You know,
Okay, so not
because the
the.
mall is the way the EIFS material, the way the mall is coloration and whatever, it was looked upon at that for these entrances. Again, the box is going around the mall, so I think that per Danielle's response, that you would be looking at drawing the box around the channel letters. So, but
Okay.
my other question for you, I'm curious to know if you're mixing up your east and your west, because the east would be to the bottom of the page, and on your
Yes,
graphic S1, it's only showing 2 signs, but
The-
Oh,
the
you
top-
are correct. My apologies.
okay.
I looked at the arrow incorrectly.
Yes,
So it
that's
is
correct.
3
The
on
towers are
west.
on the west side.
Okay.
Yep.
So going around, let's just say, starting with the monument sign, which we know is 52.
Yep.
The next sign to its left on the east, where it says grade level entrance yellow, what's that square footage?
Yep, we haven't gotten, so those are our last set. We have 2 on that east elevation.
Okay.
These are just halo illuminated letters. They are both 58 square feet.
Okay.
Okay, well, since you have 200 by right,
Mhm.
the only special permit you're seeking is for the multiple
The
signs,
multiple, correct.
Um, are there any questions from anyone on the board?
No.
Okay. Staff, do you have any further questions?
So just to further clarify, going in a clockwise fashion, where it's to the left where it says UL Macy's area, what's that sign square foot?
This right here,
The tower sign replacement to the left.
that
Oh, no,
square footage,
right.
oh, that
Yeah.
square footage is going to be 58 square feet.
Okay.
So
No,
there's
so what I'm doing is
250
I'm taking your map and I'm just adding the square footages
Yep.
to the call outs. So
So we
that's
have
fine.
58 square feet here,
Okay, thank you.
22 square feet next. The next is 58 square feet. Continuing around to the other side of the building, we have 58 square feet and 58 square feet.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I have no further questions. Thank you.
Okay. Do any members of the public have any questions? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Seconded.
Roll call vote for Lauren,
Yes.
Rosanna,
Yes, ma'am.
Paul,
Yes.
and Scott.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you.
Looks great. All right, do I have a motion to open the public hearing for the special permit section 6464, increase in sign size and multiple signs, F&M Hideaway Inc., Shimmerhorns, 244 Westfield Road, special permit 2026-9.
Fire, Josh.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote for Lauren,
Yes.
Rosanna,
Yes, ma'am.
Paul,
Yes.
Scott.
And do we have
Yes.
somebody in here to take us through this one? I think, is it Mr. Hildebrand who is?
Oh, yeah, excuse me. Hi, how are you tonight?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Excellent. Do you want to share screen and take us through your
Yes, absolutely.
I'm here with Frank Demarinis.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Great.
Can you see my screen?
I can, yeah.
Okay, all right, perfect. So my name is Ben Hildebrand. I work with Furrow Engineering, and I'm here on behalf of F&M Hideaway. We are requesting approval for proposed signage for Schermerhorn's Restaurant as part of renovation of this Holyoke landmark per section 6.4.4, previously constructed non-conforming signs. In essence, we are reducing the existing signage and simply replacing the signs that were legally existing at the time of the renovation. This first slide here shows the original signage on the property prior to the renovation. And as you can see, the primary signage really captured the historic nature of the building. And in essence, part of this proposal includes removing all these advertising signs, as well as all these non-compliant window signs as well. So here is our proposed signage plan, which was presented and approved by City Council by amendment to our special permit. The signs have been designed to honor the historic nature of Schermerhorn's Restaurant while also reducing the overall amount of signage that had existed on the property previously. Specifically, we are proposing to put 3 signs on the front facade here and 1 sign here on the west elevation, which is consistent with what was existing prior to the renovation. We are also proposing to reface this existing pylon sign, as well as add 1 additional sign on the back of the property here. From the onset of this project, our objective has been to preserve the historic nature of this landmark business and also construct a safe, modern building to serve the city of Holyoke. The original building contained 13 signs, totaling approximately 377 square feet. Our proposal reduces the amount of signs to 8 and approximately 300 square feet, a reduction of 5 signs and 80 square feet of signage. The proposed signage will have less visual impact than the previous signage, while also preserving the iconic appearance that has made Schermerhorn's recognizable landmark in the community. Per zoning section 9.2.3 special permits criteria, in my opinion, the benefit to the city and neighborhood outweighs the adverse effects of the proposed use and adds to the neighborhood character and social structure. This is a positive development in the city of Holyoke, and the historic nature of the signage and business should be allowed to continue. I appreciate your consideration in this matter, and I'm happy to answer any questions the board may have.
So can you walk us through how many square feet each side is? Because what we can grant with a special permit is up to 80 square feet per side.
Okay.
Anything beyond that is out of our ability to grant a special permit on.
It would be 80 square feet per elevation.
Correct.
So we were really hoping that we could fall under 6.4.4 previously constructed non-conforming signs.
I don't believe that legally that can be, but our attorney, Mike Bissonette is here with us tonight, so maybe he can chime in on that.
Okay, great.
Yeah, hi, Ben. Hi, Frank.
Hi, Mike.
How you doing?
I don't want to reiterate the lengthy correspondence you and Attorney Mandaleski have had since February on this matter. And I don't think you need to be reminded that the position of the city is that the council's special permit did not exempt you from the zoning requirements to follow the sign zoning ordinance. Now, you've applied for it, and hopefully that means you're willing to abide by the rules. If you can figure a way to do 80 square feet on each side, I think you're probably within the ordinance. But it seems to me what you're presenting here, Ben, seems to be about 60 square feet too much. You'd have about 320 to work with, 160 and 160. And what did you say you had? 380 total signage?
Originally, there was 380 square feet on the building. Right now, including that pylon sign, and right now we are proposing 298 square feet, including that pylon sign. The pylon is about 64 square feet. So my understanding that would subtract from that overall sign calculation, correct?
That's correct.
The pylon sign itself could go up to a maximum of 40 square feet.
Well, the pylon sign's existing.
But the pylon sign is a reface, correct?
No, we're not changing it.
Yeah, I guess we don't have to.
So if you're leaving the sign alone, then there would be no alteration to it, right? There's no change in words, no change in logo. It's remaining as is.
Correct.
Okay, so in that case, then there's no issue with the pylon sign if it's to remain in that untouched, unrevised manner.
Not touching it.
Okay.
That
And then
would
also
not be included in the calculation.
it's separate.
Yeah. So it's 80, we can grant up to 80 square feet per side. And then the
So
pylon.
would that be the front, the west elevation, and as well as the back as well?
Yes.
So we could do 80 square feet per elevation.
Yes.
And then also there is a sign under the porch, correct? That's approximately 13 and a half.
There is. That was also an existing sign that we were hoping to recreate.
So then your total though on the northern elevation as proposed is approximately 121 plus or minus.
Let me do it out real quick. Yeah, about 120 plus or minus.
So this gets back to what I said before, is that we don't have the authority to grant you a special permit for more than 80 square feet
So
per side.
can I ask a question? This is Frank Demarinis,
Hey, Frank.
the owner over at their 224 Westfield Street.
Yeah.
So let's say you didn't grant us this permit. What is the appeal process?
You would have to go before the zoning board of appeals, right?
Correct.
My lawyer is saying that's not true.
I mean, that is my understanding of the process. Attorney Bissonnette, am I correct or am I
So ask
incorrect?
your lawyer what you should do since he's guiding you. Why ask? us the
Well,
question?
my lawyer guided me to city council, and that ended badly because now I'm here, and my lawyer is saying that's not true. I have to go in front of a judge. So, and I'm sick of getting bad advice from, I believe, my lawyer, because he's a very talented individual. But you guys are saying go in front of city council. I go in front of city council, and then that doesn't work. Or
I don't
no,
think-
the ZBA. I'm sorry, you said
Yeah.
the ZBA. I go in front of the ZBA, and that doesn't work, and then I'm in front of a judge now.
Well, there's no guarantee that the zoning board of appeals would grant you the special permit.
Hold on, I didn't ask that.
Okay.
I just asked if that's the process.
That is my understanding of the process. Attorney Bissonnette, am I correct? Hello?
I'm listening.
Yeah, no, I
Yes,
just didn't hear
the
Attorney
appeal
Bissonnette.
process. The appeal process under Massachusetts law is an appeal of the zoning administrator or the planning board can be appealed to the city's zoning board of appeals. Failing that, an appeal can be taken to the Massachusetts Land Court.
So you guys can deny this. It's going to go in front of the ZBA. Is that correct? When I appeal it, will it go in front of the ZBA? If they approve it, can I have my signs?
If they approve it, yeah.
Okay. I'm just checking with you folks.
Yeah. No, I mean, again,
This
please.
is all recorded, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, cool.
Frank, it is
All
for
right.
your protection.
So you guys can appeal this, and then I'm going to go in front of the ZBA.
Okay, I mean, there's also the other option of you could get it to an allowable amount of square footage.
I just don't think that's right.
Well, Madam Chair.
Yep.
Let me offer this. The planning board tonight has two options. It may deny this petition, or it may authorize approval up to the limit per elevation. That would offer them 80 square feet on 4 elevations, total of 320. They've stated tonight in this hearing that they need 299. I don't think it's much of a stretch to ask them to figure it out. But if either of those options are unpalatable, certainly Mr. DeMarinis is free to exercise his rights to take appeal in any form he wishes.
Okay. All right, so does anyone else on the board have any questions for the proponent or in general on this?
Is this like a done deal for you guys? Like the square footage has to be that way. You guys can't minimize it a little bit. I mean, I've been planning on drinking on that deck for like a year now. You guys are playing with my feelings. Like you guys can't figure this out because it's gonna take a whole nother process to go into the zoning, to get a date, to get an appeal. Like there's no way around it. You guys are stuck dead on the size.
Oh, I'm pretty stubborn person.
Okay, then go through the process. Good luck.
I hope you guys have your conclusion, your resolution. Attorney Bassett said it very wisely. I look forward to seeing how you guys vote on this.
Okay, well, thank you very much for coming. Does any member of the public have any comment on this? And is the board comfortable with closing this and then having a discussion about it in the meeting about how we're gonna move forward?
I am.
Okay. Then do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Seconded.
Roll call vote for Lauren,
Yes.
Rosanna,
Yes, ma'am.
Paul,
Yes.
and Scott.
Yes.
Thank you guys very much, and we'll talk about it when we get to the meeting section.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing for zone change for Irfan Rahil at 172 Sargent Street, 060-06-001, BG to DR, C6926, zone change 2026-6.
Lauren, excuse me. We have a.
Oh,
item
I'm sorry. I skipped the
number 4.
exceed fence height. Apologies.
Got me confused.
Sorry. Scratch that motion. Do I have a motion for special permit sections 4.6.3.2 to exceed fence height by Methelza Reyes, 187 West Franklin Street, special permit 2026-10?
So moved.
And do I have somebody? Oh, do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote for Lauren,
Yes.
Rosanna,
Yes, ma'am.
Paul,
Yes.
and Scott.
Yes.
Okay, is there somebody who wants to walk us through this one?
Hi, my name is Mateusha.
Hi.
Hi. So I just wanted to replace the existing fence that I currently have right now. It's currently at 6 feet all the way around, and I just wanted to put it 6 feet once again, but with white vinyl. I have it wooden, and I just wanted to replace it.
Okay. Do you want to share screen or do you want us to share screen to look at your packet?
I can definitely share the screen. I got pictures and everything so that I can show you guys.
Great.
You're all set, Maddie.
Thank you. Can you guys see my screen?
Mhm.
Okay, so this is currently what it looks like. It's 6 feet all around. And I currently want, this is what it looks like now, and it's 6 feet, and it's kind of like on a hill. So technically the fence on the other side is 5 feet. And I wanted to replace it like that. I put it on AI. It doesn't have that much because it added a little bit of land on the side.
Gotcha.
Um,
And your neighbor across the way has a 6-foot fence too, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is what it would look like in the front with AI. Sorry for the zooming. I don't know why it keeps zooming in and out, but that's what it would look like with 6 feet in the front.
Okay.
I have wait, this isn't it. It's the other one. And this is a type of fencing that I would like to use. It's the white vinyl one.
Okay. Does anybody on the board have any questions? No. Okay. Staff, do you have any questions?
Yes, thank you. According to your application, it says 4 feet along the front and 6 feet along the side and back.
Yeah, so I did originally want to put 4 feet. And when I came home and I looked at the front, it's kind of like on a hill. So technically if I were to put 4 feet in the front, it would be 3 feet fence because it's kind of like on a hill. So I was wondering if I can put a 6-foot fence so that it technically would be 5 feet. And there's been a lot of people coming around here. I had a break-in in my car right now, and I kind of just want to put up a fence that doesn't have so many holes and everything. I do have a 4-year-old, and I just want to close it out all the way around.
And again, there's an existing 6-foot fence across the street.
Correct.
So it exists in the neighborhood. Okay. Any further questions? Okay. Well, first off, just a thank you for coming to us with this application because a lot of people would have just changed the fence. So we really appreciate that you followed the rules and came.
Oh yes, absolutely. I definitely want to do it the
Yeah.
right way. I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah.
Seconding that.
Yes. So I think we have everything we need. And do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Seconded.
Roll call vote for Lauren.
Yes.
Rosanna.
Sorry, yes, ma'am.
Paul.
Yes.
And Scott.
Yes.
Okay. Maddie, we're going to take it up in the public meeting and talk about it then. So we'll get back to you with a decision. You don't have to hang out unless you want to, but it might be a long one until we get to the meeting.
Okay, no, sounds good. So would I get an email or how would that work?
Yes, staff will reach out to you with the decision.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
I'll mail it to your address.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Looks nice. Thanks.
Okay, do I have a motion to open the public hearing for zone change for Irfan Rahil, 172 Sargent Street, 060-06-001 BG to DR C6926 zone change 2026-6.
Moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote for Lauren.
Yes.
Rosanna.
Yes, ma'am.
Paul,
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Is anyone here to walk us through this one?
Yes, good evening. Kevin Rothschild, Shea Architecture EL. You scared me there for a minute when you jumped I almost couldn't
Sorry.
unmute fast enough.
Do you want to share screens and take us through?
Let's see. I think I have the technology, and if I have a digital
You're all
failure,
set. You should be able to share.
Jeff could back me up. Let me see. Let me. I have to share the screen I'm on, and then if I switch, can you see the screen that is the application page?
Yes.
Okay. So this I represent Irfan in this property. You can see in the image here, basically it's a two-story plus a partially exposed basement, a masonry structure, about 4,500 square feet per floor, 9,000 square feet total on a 0.29 acre parcel. This started when our client came to us hoping to renovate the second floor to provide 2 units of residential housing or rental apartments, of which we discovered on the principal use table 4.3 that in this district, a dwelling unit on the second floor was not allowed. Interestingly enough, in the same zone, a two-family and multifamily is allowed, which would seem a challenge to have a two-family or multifamily without putting a residential space on the second floor. So Marco Crescentini, formerly of my office and now retired, a Holyoke resident and has served on a number of boards, began the conversation some time ago with Davin, and I think that he connected with Jeff Burkott in terms of guidance and how to best proceed. And that recommendation came forward to suggest or submit a request for a zone change in order to, from the BG to DR, which would then best allow us to develop the property and properly move forward with a renovation project. You can see, I've scrolled forward, you can see we're on the corner of basically 4 different districts here.
Mhm.
You can see on my map, and with guidance from the town planners and zoning officers, the suggestion was to change this corner to the DR, whereas we are literally kitty corner to it, as the best, most appropriate fit in order to put this vacant space back into use. We don't think the use is unkeeping with the adjacent zones or with the intent of proper zoning in the street and adjacent properties. You can see here's our perimeter map. And I do have also a similar use diagram here where we kind of looked at what is around this property, right? So we have a 5-story residential to the back, a 4 to 5-story residential. We have 2 to 3-story residential all beyond us here, directly down the block, 3-story residential, and some mixed use beyond. So it seems, in our opinion, with the support with your office, and that we might best pursue this zone change in order to put this space to use that has really long been vacant, with the hope of getting two residential apartments allowed for in a new zone in this property. Unfortunately, special permit was apparently not a process or an option for us to go through, and this was the recommendation. Really, we're working in hopes of putting this long vacant space back into to good functional use. The only deficiency we have relative to this zone is it suggests that the building shall not be less than 3 stories, excluding basements and stairs. We're clearly 2.5 with an exposed basement or lower level. That space is not currently in play right now. But with that said, we feel like this is the best fit and the best opportunity. He's not had opportunities to rent this for a commercial tenant on the upper floor in many, many moons. So I think this, for the benefit of the district and the town, hopefully puts the building back into some good use and get some people some much needed housing.
Yeah.
That's my. I'm gonna stop sharing if I need to, just so I can see you all.
I mean, I think it's great that he wants to add in housing. Obviously, we need that desperately, and DR feels appropriate to me, especially given that there's another lot catty corner to it. How the rest of the board, do you have any thoughts or questions?
I personally love the idea. When I first moved here, I know when people used to live in the basement and upstairs. So I'm glad to see that legally we're putting it back into use, and it makes total sense in the area that you're in. I hope no one gives you a hard time, because I feel like this is a very smart project.
I think you are correct. I think informally there has been, not currently, but in the past, I believe there's been rental or residential use on at least one part of the upper floor.
Does anyone else on the board have any thoughts?
Yeah, I have no concerns with the project. I think it makes sense. I mean, I wish we had a zone that was appropriate to the particular structure, but I think it certainly is a viable use in this location. I think it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pleased to see adaptive reuse of some, this second floor, and I think it's just part of the kind of anomalous history of our city that structures like this have come in and out of use. I'm glad the owner is conceived of this project and very sympathetic to accommodating it.
I mean, it does follow a traditional pattern of retail and shop front on the first floor with residential above. It's a tried and true in village and in town approach.
Yeah,
absolutely. Does staff have any questions or comments?
The only thing I would just offer is, again, DR being a flexible zone, currently as a BG, the building is pre-existing non-conforming, and the DR would offer the flexibility of the averages on the block or RM60, depending on however you want to look at it. And that in the future, this might be another area that the board may want to look at for the two parcels to the south, because the parcel just to its south, 329 Beach, and then the one south of that, 333 Beach, are all like multifamily buildings in a BG that don't meet any of the zoning requirements, and so therefore are pre-existing non-conforming. So I do think it would be a positive to go in that the DR direction. Thank you.
All right. Does anybody in the public have any comments?
Yes, I have a comment, if I'm allowed to read my letter.
You have a
Peter
comment
Miller.
about this property?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If you could state your name and your address for the record, and then you can make your comment.
Yeah, my name is Peter Dellert. I own the building at 174 Sargent Street, which is the direct abutter. I'll read the letter I wrote to the board, and also I sent a copy to the ordinance committee. I'm an abutter of 172 Sargent Street. I've owned the property at 174 Sargent Street since 1988. I'm a retired cabinet maker, furniture maker, and still use the building as my studio. In reading the proposal for a zone change for 172 Sargent and looking at the accompanying maps, it appears that certain facts and information have been omitted or overlooked. I own one half of the parking lot in question and marked on the map as wholly owned by Mr. Raheel. I have allowed parking there out of courtesy, but recently there have been problems since part of 172 Sargent has been rented to and is used by a bakery and a sandwich shop. Their customers and delivery trucks have often blocked access to my building. The employees of the bakery often have 3 or 4 cars parked permanently in that lot, some of them on my property. The one handicap space that was allocated when the space was originally turned into a convenience store, Mr. Heel's business, has long since been removed. I am concerned that giving Mr. Heel permission to add apartments to the second floor of 172 Sargent Street would only exacerbate the parking problem. It is a problem now and only worsens during the winter as the lot is difficult to plow. What is the occupancy estimated to be for the apartments? How many additional cars would this generate, and where will they park? I've been generous in the past in allowing the owners and the tenants of 172 Sargent to use the spaces on my side of the lot. I would not be in favor of additional parking burdens being placed on this property, and I'm not in favor of granting Mr. Merheil permission to change the zoning for 172 Sargent Street. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm happy to answer questions. I mean, I've been around a long time. I know Rio's been.
Peter, I know you said you've been there for a long time, but I feel like that's an easy fix. Just put on some signs and start towing cars. If it's your property, it's really not that complicated because you got the shelter across the street that also uses that parking.
Ma'am, this is Holyoke. You don't just do that. You know, it's a tough
But you
town.
do.
Tough
But
corner.
you do. If you've been there for 20 years and it's become that much
I've been
of
there
a
for
burden,
40 years, ma'am. 40.
So for
40
even
years.
worse, even worse. So shame on you for not putting a sign and not being strict, not setting boundaries from the beginning. You can't blame other people for stuff that you allow for 40 years. When it's really simple, you put a do not parking, trespassers will be towed, and you start towing them at their expense. You don't have to be a good guy. If that's your property, then you need to claim it and set boundaries. That's it. It's really not that complicated. This project has nothing to do with that. And if that's the case, you set your boundaries, you put a sign, and people get told, and that's it.
I'm afraid it does, ma'am. All commercial property and apartments need parking, and they're required to have it, especially if it's a zone change. This is not pre-existing. You're adding parking demand to a doesn't have any parking.
As a realtor and a leasing agent, I've rent properties where they are not allowed to park on the driveway. They need to park on the street, and it's written on the lease. And if they park where they're not supposed to, they get towed. Legally, I've done that. So that's something that can be incorporated when they rent. Guess what? You don't have use to this parking space. You will get told you need to park on the street. Figure it out.
All right. Well,
I really don't think it's that complicated.
Y'all should go by and look at the building, because it's going to be a tough property to develop. And so far he's been falling on his face, and I wish him well. But if I put a fence up, it's going to be a bigger mess. And I don't want to do that.
Don't be the nice guy, Mr. Peter. Don't be the nice guy.
I need access to my property, and I'm set to the back. I'm set to the back, so I don't have street frontage. And I plan on being around for another 20 years, God willing. So thank you for your time, board. I appreciate it.
I do have one question, Mr. Dellert, if you can stay just for another minute.
What's that?
What has happened when you've spoken with the proponent? Like when you've talked to him about the parking, what happens when you have those conversations with him?
I just found out about this when I got the letter from the planning board.
I mean,
he hasn't shared with me his plans to develop the property, other than he wanted to put in apartments. But the building's a mess.
No. You said that this has been an ongoing problem that you have with the current tenants. So I'm just curious, has he been
his tenants are tenants. They don't own the building. The donut shop are tenants, and they're hard to deal with. One, because we don't speak the same language. And last winter was a nightmare. So I don't want to go through that again.
Okay.
And I don't think the developer, or in this case, the architect, is aware of the day-to-day use of the building and what needs and has to happen. And by adding more egress and more, you just add to the problem.
Okay. Thank you. We don't have a letter.
It's a very busy.
By the way, it didn't come to us. We don't have a letter from you in our file. It didn't come to us.
I got a letter from notice of public hearing. I responded to it via email, to the email that I got. Rihanna Tejada
Okay.
at holyoke.org. Was I not supposed to respond to that?
No, that it should have gone. I wonder if it didn't come through because we didn't receive it. So yeah. If I'm gonna put my email in the chat so you can send it to me just so I can put it into the file.
And I sent another one to Jeffrey Anderson Burgos. But your name is here, but your email is not here.
Yes, it's in the chat right now, my email. It's nilesl@holyoke.org.
I'll send you a copy.
Thank you so much. I just want to make sure it's there so that when we're discussing it, we can have that.
Excuse me, do you mind if I'd like to clarify a couple points, if you don't mind. Is that appropriate?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to try to reshare again because I just want to understand and have everybody that's in the discussion understand what it is we are talking about here. So I've shared my screen. Can you see that again?
Yep.
So this is the shape of the parcel.
Yeah, that's misconstrued, sir. It's misconstrued.
Okay. What is the inaccuracy?
The boundary to the west. It looks like it might be right, but it's not.
Is that something that we should get a surveyor?
Well, I sent you a copy of that as well.
Okay, perfect. I didn't see that. Laura, can you send that over when you get a chance, please?
Yeah, as soon as I get it, I will.
Yeah, because what the surveyor said, that should be kind of golden.
Right.
Right. Because this is the city's, property map. We understand GIS can have variations. And are you the parcel or the area in question? Is this the landlocked portion that you're discussing right here?
No, the part I'm discussing is my access along the west boundary.
Off of Beach Street or along this side?
Yeah, right where you are now. Yeah, right there. That's west.
Okay, so if we look at sorry.
So I think I don't know that we're going to solve this all in this moment, but I think I think Mr. Dellert brought up some good points, and we should keep the hearing open and continue so we can all wrap our heads around what's going on with the access.
You need to look at accurate drawings.
Fair enough. And then we do want to point out that as a second floor legally allowed to be commercial, that generates a certain amount of parking as allowed by right. And these are small inner city parcels without matching parking, all of which would require street side parking, regardless of the use. The residential use is, we've not designed it yet. We are, I guess, not going to embark upon a design until we know that we can actually legally do so.
Yeah. So I think at this point, what would be smart is to keep the hearing open, continue to a date certain, and have like a little bit better. Mr. Rothschild, you can go back to your client. You guys can get a better idea of what's going on with access, and then come back to us.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I get the surveyor plan too, because we want to make sure that we're validating Mr. Peters' concerns. Because if the map is incorrect, then we need to respect that space for him as well.
We may need a little time to obtain a survey.
No, absolutely.
I'm doing a number right now, and surveyors are running 6 to 8 weeks out just to.
Yeah. So I was just going to say, maybe we can continue if Jeff thinks this works to August 25th. Does that seem?
That would work, sure.
So that gives you 8 weeks. Does that seem doable?
I hope so. We'll see what we can do.
Okay, we'll just keep in touch.
Oh yeah, and Jeff knows we're in touch with his office on a regular basis.
Right.
So excellent. Well, thank you for the input.
Yeah, Thank you. All right, so do I have a motion to continue this public hearing to August 25th?
So moved.
Seconded.
Roll call vote for Lauren,
Yes.
Rosanna,
Yes, ma'am.
Paul,
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Okay. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing for Zone Change 1/2026 Panich Comprehensive Plan Revisions Package, orders 1 through 41, continued from 4/14/2024, 4/14, 5/12, 5/27, 6/9, Zone Change 2026 5, items 1 through 5.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote for Lauren,
Yes.
Rosanna,
Yes, ma'am.
Paul,
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Okay, so the goal for this portion of the meeting is to go through orders 1 through 5. I'm going to give a little bit of a synopsis of each order before we dive in, and planning staff is going to bring up the section of the proposal that corresponds so we can talk about it.
Yep.
And once I have a little bit of a proposal, I'm going to open it up to the board and then public comments on the order that we are discussing. And the comments need to stay on the order that we are discussing. Okay, so order 1, section 3-1, classes of districts. Can we pull that up?
Yeah. Lauren's.
Okay, thanks.
Jeff, I'm not seeing anything in, I can pull it up. Okay. Yeah, I was not seeing anything in the Google Drive.
Okay, so for order 1, section 3-1, classes of districts, the hope with this order is suggesting that we're going to remove the obsolete zones where we have a few zones that have no parcels in Holyoke that are zoned as such. So that's BE, business entryway, or OP, office park. So we're suggesting removing those zones from the zoning ordinance. And we are also suggesting adding definitions for each zone at this point of the zoning ordinance. Our zones haven't been defined up until this point, and we've worked to get definitions for them by looking at many municipalities around us, including Springfield, Chicopee, Westfield, Northampton, and Amherst. So that is what this order is about. Does anyone on the board have any thoughts on this one? Okay. Staff, do any of you want to add anything about what I just said?
I'm all
Okay.
set. Thank
All
you.
right. No problem. Does any member of the public have any comment on this order? I don't see any hands raised. Does anyone else see any hands raised?
Oh.
Okay. So just also to set the stage tonight, we're not closing anything. We're going to continue. So, but this is just to give us a chance to kind of talk about and hear feedback on specific zoning suggestions. So order number 2. So this is a zone change to change R1A to R1. R1 and R1A are 2 very similar residential single-family zones. They are so similar, it makes the zoning ordinance unnecessarily complicated to residents and developers alike. There seems to be a deep confusion that R1A aligns with RA. This is not the case. RA is a residential agricultural zone. R1A is a residential single-family zone that has none of the agricultural uses that RA allows. With the suggestion of changing R1A to R1, nothing aside from the name of the zone will change for anyone in R1A, anybody that has an R1A zone, residents and parcels. All uses found in section 4.3 table of principal uses are the same in R1 and R1A. Nothing is currently allowable or prohibited in just one of these districts. All uses that currently require a special permit in R1A also require a special permit in R1. The suggested zone change order will not change any allowable uses or dimensional regulations for anyone in what is currently R1A. Our suggestion in combining these districts includes adopting the more permissive dimensional regulations of R1A, which again means that nothing will change for anyone in the current R1A aside from the name of the districts. For residents in R1, it would change the minimum parcel area to 9,500 square feet from 11,250 square feet. The minimum area per dwelling unit to 9,500 square feet from 11,250 square feet. The required frontage area from 75 feet to 90 feet. The required depth of a lot stays the same. The required front yard changes from 23 feet to 30 feet. The required rear yard changes from 30 to 30, I'm sorry, the required front yard changes to 23 from 30 feet. The required rear yard changes from 30 feet to 30 feet from 35 feet. The required side yard stays the same. Both required side yards together change to 20 feet from 25. The maximum number of stories remains the same at 2.5. The maximum height remains the same at 35. The maximum building coverage of a lot changes to 35% from 30. This change will bring several previously non-conforming properties into compliance. And text changes, sorry, that's all I have for that. Do I have any comments from planning board on this? Or staff? And could we bring up the dimensional regulations? I think that's.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Okay. I mean, we could also just pause here for a minute. I think this is a really good visual aid just for everyone who hasn't been on it. If we want to rotate that and kind of zoom in.
Rotate and zoom in, please.
Yeah. Because this is showing how all of the R1 and R1A will become the same.
What color is denoting the R1A? It's the dark green.
Yes. The dark green.
I think you can zoom out a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Does anyone on the board have any comments or questions? Does staff want to add anything before I open it up to the public?
I have nothing.
Does anyone in the public have a comment on this zone change? Christine? Do we need to unmute Christine? Oh, I think Christine needs to unmute Christine.
I see Christine's hand up.
Yes, I called on her. I just need her to unmute.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, I'm unmuted?
Yes.
Great. This is Christine Futia from Ward 6. I am opposed.
Could you state your address to the record, please?
Oh, sure. 18 Stephen Drive.
Thank you.
I'm opposed to the merger of R1A and R1 for a number of reasons. One thing I'd like to note is that going from 11,250 feet down to 9,500 for the folks in R1 is a 15% decrease, and some of the others are basically similar. So I want to say this is not a trivial change to the folks in R1. But more importantly, from the day we received your hearing notice on this matter, we have been attempting to determine where it came from and what the rationale was. And we now have 2.5 years of minutes and videos that we didn't have before, but they don't tell us what we need to know. And this is because the planning board deliberately formed a subcommittee of 2 so that all the underlying work on citywide rezoning could be done without visibility to the public. And this is clearly documented in the board's videos. The videos also reveal that the comprehensive plan process and the halo provided by out-of-town consultants was deliberately used as an umbrella for a
Christine,
largely
I'm going to interrupt you
pre-existing-
for a moment. We're asking for specific comments on this change, not
Yes,
on the
this is a
comprehensive plan.
specific comment on R1 and R1A.
It doesn't feel like it's specific to this zone change. It feels like it's about the comprehensive plan.
I'm explaining why I'm opposed to this zone change.
All right.
All right. The videos also reveal that the comprehensive plan process and the halo provided by out-of-town consultants was deliberately used by the planning board as an umbrella for a largely pre-existing wish list so that the desired zoning and authority changes might actually get through the city council. And this also is documented in your videos. The consultants themselves concluded that our zoning code, including R1 and R1A, was not particularly problematic and is in fact better than most that they've seen. They didn't think that a massive rewrite of the zoning code was needed, and they certainly didn't recommend this change. But now we have this whole package, including this change, and much more to come. The shame is, I'm certain that many of the proposed changes, and even this one, which combines R1A and R1, may be beneficial to Holyoke. But the deliberately opaque process by which this package was formulated and brought to the city obscures the merits of this proposal or any other. On this basis, we see only one alternative: withdraw the package, close the public hearings, and work openly to repackage your desired changes so that they can be introduced as what they really are. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Rosa.
Hi, my name is Rosa Gonçalves. I'm a resident of Ward 6. Should I state my address for the
Yes, please.
record? 254 West Franklin. I'm just really interested to know what kind of motivations are behind the zoning consolidation, and I am kind of concerned, very concerned, by the transparency issues that have been brought forward by Christine and other residents on other nights. I just want to know what prompted the zoning change proposition, but even more so kind of what the planning board's eventual vision, or rather the goal, is for these zoning changes. I'm really kind of disappointed to hear of the severe lack of openness to the public and see it myself while trying to research these changes in my community. I think that the city owes us a Q&A session at the very least, because as residents, our questions should be answered. And if you guys aren't prepared to inform us, then that's an issue. Thank you.
Thank you. So once again, I'm just going to state that all comments should be about this particular zone change. And we've had a couple public hearings now where we've heard the public's response to the zoning noticing. So that's not what we're here to talk to you about tonight. I'm assuming that you guys are no longer raising your hands, and is there someone else that has anything to say about this one?
I would like to talk, and I don't know how to raise my hand, so I'm just gonna talk.
Sure. I'm sorry, who is that?
This is Jessica Montagna, and I'm also in Ward 6.
Okay.
So an R1, R1A person, and I'm at 79 Brookline. And one of my questions is about this zone change. And if the suggestion was coming from the consultant throughout the process, or did you all or the city send these suggestions to the consultant to consider? So how did this R1, R1A come about? Did it come out from the RFP to look at zones? Did it come out as a suggestion from you to them? Did it come out from the public process, from public participation saying that this R1, R1A is a strain on our whatever issues about changing things to our properties? So I'm just curious where this came from, how that process came about.
Okay. So as part of the process of the comprehensive plan, there was a zoning subcommittee formed, and yes, Christine, there were only 2 people on the zoning subcommittee, and that is because we can't violate open meeting law. So in order to have a subcommittee, it can only be 2 members of the planning board.
Not true.
It is true, and please, we're not going to do this tonight. We're not just
I'm
going to.
sorry, I didn't realize I was unmuted. I allow myself to make.
And we looked at the feedback given in the comprehensive plan and worked on zoning with the, I'm sorry, I need a minute. I just need a minute.
I'd like to say something too, and I also don't know how to raise my hand.
If you could just acknowledge your address.
Yes,
Sally, your full
Sally
name.
Carlton. I'm a resident of Ward 6, 84 Ridgewood Ave. And this is, I can't really read the map. So can anyone point out, like, it looks like Northampton Street is along here somewhere in the dark green, but I'm not sure. Can't read it. Can anyone tell me?
It is a map of Holyoke. The colors depict different building zoning areas. Right. So it's not zoomed in close enough, but it is oriented north-south.
Okay.
So we could all kind of infer where Northampton Street and where I-91 is. Yeah.
Okay. So just listening to the differences between R1A and R1, basically, it seems like R1A has a little bit more generous lot size. And let's see, frontage. And R1 is making the lot size smaller, plus the frontage would be, for each lot, would be able to move closer to the street. That's sort of my layman's view. Is that correct?
So R1, it currently is 11,250 square feet.
Okay.
And what the suggestion is when combining the two is to take it down to the 9,500 square feet, which is the R1A, so that we were not creating more non-conforming lots when combining the two.
Okay. And my lot is actually non-conforming, and I believe it's R2 because it's a corner lot on a hill. So there, I think originally there was no, you couldn't build a house on the side of a steep hill. But to me, I don't really understand why it's necessary. I feel like moving houses closer to the street and frontage, making the backyard smaller, is going to make more dense housing.
Yeah, I can understand that thought. There's not that much undeveloped land that it's gonna create a significant change in density. But, you know, again, these were suggestions.
Yeah.
And, you know, we saw these two zones as being very similar and thought that it made sense to collapse them because we have so many zones overall, and these two were so close. You know, if the public doesn't feel like this is worth it, then it's heard.
Okay.
I think it's also important to note, we're not requiring people to shrink their lot.
Oh God, no.
What's occurring here is that lots that are already smaller than in the current zoning are legally acceptable would be more likely to be conforming. So there will be fewer non-conforming lots that already exist.
And what is the benefit to the homeowner for having?
It may allow some additional uses in the future. It may allow, you know, it may change, I don't know, maybe fence placement, sheds, etc. I mean, it'll be, you know, small changes, but it will prevent people needing to get a special permit in some instances.
And
if
this,
I'm misspeaking here, Lauren or Jeff, jump in and let me know. But I mean, that's my general understanding here. It will allow some additional activity that might currently be prohibited or require a special permit.
and this would be if the current, if I'm residing in one of these lots that's going to be changed when I die and the house is sold, then
2 years from now, correct?
Yeah. I just got a puppy. I have to live till 93, you know. But what
So
happens?
you will live to 90.
What happens? Does anything change once the current owner sells or whatever is no longer living in that house? Does something change about how the use would be changed, or does that affect it at all?
No.
I don't think so. I mean, unless the house sat vacant for years, then it, you know, a non-conforming use after
Yes.
someone, I believe it's what, 3 years?
Right.
It's 2. So if a property is not used for 2 years, so if somebody passed and then the property wasn't used for 2 years, that previously pre-existing non-conforming would not be applicable anymore.
Okay, so that's what happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
All right.
So by making the lot smaller, it would be less likely to lose housing stock because of a change like that.
Okay.
And in an environment where, you know, we already have housing issues, anything that, you know, preserves housing stock is an important consideration.
Right. All right. Thank you for your explanation.
Is there anyone else?
Well, I'm hoping that my question could get answered that I asked earlier.
Yeah. So it came out of the entire process. I don't know that there's a concise answer to what you're asking.
Can you try?
I mean, I have tried by telling you guys that we've been working on this for 2.5 years with consultants, through public feedback, through conversations, like all of
Do
the.
you have what did you all propose this to the consultants to be put into the comprehensive plan or not? Is that an easier question? Did the city propose this R1 to R1A? Say that again?
R1, the R1A to R1.
And what was your comment? I was speaking.
I said, are you asking specifically R1?
Yes, I am. I'm asking specifically about this one. Did you all
Be 100% honest with you, I do not remember. So let me see if someone else does.
Great.
Jeff, do you recall if this originated with the consultants or if this originated with us?
To the best of my recollection, I want to say that it was discussed that the idea of looking at similar zones to further, some people would argue that there are too many similar zones and therefore also to remove redundant zones. And due to the fact that these were relatively similar and due to the idea of further reducing the number of zones, this was looked at just because they were so similar in both use and, it would also bring other lots into compliance.
Okay.
So it was later taken to the subcommittee so that we could look at it all.
Yeah. So I think to answer, Jessica, I think the best answer to your question is the consultants discussed the different zones with us and pointed out that there were redundancies. We were then tasked with how can we create less redundancies through proposed zoning changes. I hope that answers it more clearly for you.
I think so. Thanks.
No problem. Paula.
Quick comment, Paola Ferrario, 180 Michigan Avenue. I'm a R1A resident. But I think, I wasn't going to comment about this specific order tonight, but I just want to say, as I hear you speak, I think one of the premises here is that the two lots, the two zoning are very similar, and that's what you're going by. They're not. 15%, it's a very considerable amount of land. And if you look at neighborhoods that are R1, they're different from RA1. And I don't see the city being particularly stressed about handling two single-family residential zones.
Well,
so I would so hope that this would be like, well, there's RA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but RA is quite different with different connotation.
I agree with you that it's very different.
But R1A and R1 are not that similar. And 3 single-family zone or 2, I don't think it's a huge burden on the city. So, I think, the neighborhoods have different different character, and I think people love the different characters of the neighborhoods, and it should be left as such. So at the core is we're combining them because they're so similar, and I just want to state they're not. They're really not that similar, not similar enough. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay.
I have one more question unless another person from the public wants to ask anything, since I already spoke. This is Jessica again.
Okay. Go ahead, Jessica.
I guess beyond consolidating and redundancy and all of that stuff, is there a particular vision that the city has regarding these consolidations, this consolidation? I would hope that, there is the potential for denser communities, from what I understand, more houses on smaller parcels. And that does have the potential to change the landscape of maybe not my ward, because I live already in pretty dense housing, although Sally, I walk by her house often, and she does have that large yard, and it is the exception in our neighborhood. So I'm wondering, if the consideration of the vision or the potential for our landscape in the city to change, particularly in wards that have larger, and wards that are R1A, that have larger lots that could be broken up into smaller lots. So I'm just curious about the vision here and the considerations of that vision outside of the administrative consolidation stuff. I'm happy to make things easier for folks and make things more streamlined, but I get very nervous when we're talking about the potential for denser housing without a real vision. So that is a serious concern. It's a concern for me. I will live here for many years, and also the potential for my child to maintain living in this community, and also just the overall, I'm concerned about whether or not I live here or have lineage here. I am concerned about what Holyoke could look like in 10 years from now, and 15 years from now, and 20 years from now.
I think that's something we all have in common, is that we are concerned with what Holyoke will look like in the future. And, I hear the comment that it's a 15% difference and that it could allow for more density in some places. The number of lots that we are talking about that would have a change or an ability to have more properties put on them based on that, were small. We are still working on getting that final number because the city's systems don't love to talk to each other. So one system we can look up by lot size, and the other we can we're having a hard time pulling together that list, but we are working on it, and it will be a consideration about whether this order move forward or not, how many lots we are talking about. So thank you.
Yeah. And you guys will publish that at some point when it's available?
Yeah.
The number of lots?
Yes, I've heard the comments that we haven't been transparent, and I disagree.
No, I'm asking you, it would be talked about and discussed in another open hearing.
Yes.
Great, thank you.
Okay. I don't see any other hands up, so I think we're going to move on to the next one. Christine, your hand has been up the whole time, so I don't know but I think, okay. Any other comments from anyone on the board? Okay. So, and no other public comments. So moving on to order number 3, which is zone change RO and BL to BG. The intent of this proposed zone change was to zone change all RO and BL to BG, which would have helped minimize the patchwork nature of our zoning map and brought some buildings into compliance. We've heard several arguments to take a more granular approach to this zone change, and I still believe there's merit in changing a couple of the RO parcels to BG, specifically the area that's part of Mount Marie and Valley Springs Behavioral Health Hospital. Those are currently zoned RO, and they are parts of large hospitals. I do, however, think that this order needs to be sent back to subcommittee and looked at in a more granular way to see if it should even move forward at all. And that would require renoticing the proposed change when it is redrafted. So does anyone else on the board have thoughts about that? Does anybody else in the public, or does anybody in the public have any thoughts there?
I do know that, this is Jessica Montagna again. I do know, oh, I see John McCann is on. I do know that Janet Vecchia and John McCann, who were affected by this, I believe they were on. I don't know if they're having technical difficulties, so I just wanted to kind of speak up for them. Oh, John has her hand raised. Okay.
Yeah. And we've heard his statement a few times and received it in letters, but of course I'm going to call on you in a moment, John, but this is part of the reason that we are saying that we should not move, or I am saying, I need to hear from the rest of the board, that I don't think we should move forward on this one, aside from the Mount Marie and Valley Springs Behavioral Health Hospital lots. John.
Yeah, Lauren, so you said that you sent us a email, and we never received it, and actually we requested Jeff send you another request.
And I responded to it.
We never got an email back. I truly don't understand.
understand what's happening because I have now emailed you guys twice. I don't know if I'm getting put into spam or what's going on.
Is it possible? I mean, I don't know what to say. You know, we've been checking to look for a response from you and we haven't gotten it. So
Yeah, I don't know what to say either because I have responded. So I will respond again. I can send you something. I don't know why it's not coming from my city, but I will CC Jeff on it as well to see if it's something that's not going through on my end. Other people are getting my emails, so I really don't understand what's going on. And
yeah,
I know
maybe you could send it to Jeff and then he could send it to us
Yeah.
because he responds. I mean, I've been communicating with him and he responds within 15 minutes every time I send him my email.
Yeah, I immediately responded when I got your email. So
Okay.
apologies that did not make it to you. That's really frustrating, I'm sure.
Okay,
And to
thank you.
clarify, is that Jeffrey Anderson Burgos?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, I was saying that I would CC Jeff Burkott, but I can CC Jeff Anderson Burgos as well in my response, just to make sure it gets to you guys.
I was communicating with the Jeff from City Hall. I'm sorry, I'm not sure which one is which.
So that's Jeff AB. Totally understood.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Not Jeff B.
Okay. Does anybody on the board have any thoughts about order number 3? Okay, order number 4. Parcels on Dwight Street and Walnut Street rezoned from RO and BL to DR. This order suggests changing RO and BL parcels bordered by Elm to the alley between Beach and Pine and from Hamden to a bit beyond Dwight Street and changing them to DR. The area is surrounded by DR and there's already housing development happening here. This will allow for uses that are congruous to the surrounding neighborhood. None of the special permits required for development in a DR are being suggested to switch from city council to planning board in later orders. In a later zone change, there is the suggestion to change the special permit required in DR for independent living, retirement, or assisted living into allowable by right. It is currently allowed by special permit of the city council in both RO and BL. There are parcels that are currently undevelopable as BL. If they are zone changed to DR, they will become developable and match the character of the surrounding lots. Does anyone on the board have any thoughts?
I have a quick question. Do any of these relate to the transit center? Looks like one does.
Jeff?
No, it's the transit center is on the other side of the park, which is the dark. Well, I guess it's kind of hard to describe here. See where the word the Chestnut Street label is next to the 6 parcels? That would be the park.
Okay. All right. So I have no problem then. Okay. Thank you. Don't need to dig deeper. I just wanted to make sure I didn't have an issue. I had to recuse myself.
Does anybody in the public have any, or does anybody else on the board have any thoughts? Paula?
Yes, Paula Ferrario, 180 Michigan. I'm asking I spent almost an hour on this order today. And actually the order you read and the map that they're showing are not the order and the map that are in the package. The order read it is hereby ordered that the parcel along Dwight Street and Walnut Street be rezoned from RO residential office zoning district to BL business limited zoning direct to the DR downtown residential zoning district. Please see attached map with proposed zone changes. So the parcel is not very well defined. And if you look at the map that is actually in the package, I don't know if you want to pull it up. If not, if I can share screen. Here we go. Yeah, you had it before. No, that's not what it's in the package. That's not what it's. That's not, yeah, that's what it's in the package. Can you, so if you see, it's very hard to tell what you mean because there's a heavy outline, but it's not on between Dwight and Walnut. And then in the color coding for the various zoning, you have DR being the light pink. So it shows all this part in the map as light pink when it's in fact inaccurate because a lot of these parcels are BL. So it's impossible from this order as it's written now to understand which parcel exactly you mean.
So this is the proposed map.
This was also an older map because so all that was seeking to be changed, wasn't it just the RO down Elm Street? And I think it was displayed better in the revised map.
Yeah, but the revised map is not what is in the package. So people who have been looking at this, okay. So
the left side is existing, and then the right side is the proposed.
So I think we would need an order with the parcel numbers. Because, for instance, there's some parcel, like one of the things I wanted to know is lot 006060009. Will it be part of this change? Because I can't tell from the map. And I'm asking that question because I've been watching your meeting, and from your meeting of August 27, 24, you were talking about this changing, specifically including that parcel and some other, and 062030001A, 062030001. And I don't know if those parcels are included. But it seems from that meeting in August that you were planning these changes in relation to have that series of corporation LCC that are there to be able to build apartments. So it felt to me a little bit that the planning board was stepping into a rule of development instead of planning. And then having this order being very vague, I think it would be good for just informing the public to make sure that an order is cast with all the lots number and a very clear outline of which parcel would be affected.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Does anyone else on the board have any thoughts? Okay. Seeing no other comments, I'm going to move on to order number 5. Zone change BH to BC. This proposed change affects the Main Street corridor. The parcels are on Main Street from Appleton to Sargent Street, and parcels on Clemente from Cabot to one parcel before Crescent. There are already BC zoned properties on Main Street from Sargent to Hamilton. This would again minimize the patchwork nature of the zoning map. What would change in terms of allowable uses? It would allow dwellings on the second story, which is not allowable in BH. It would disallow animal clinics, retail service with incidental wholesale, motor vehicle rental, motor vehicle body repair, motor vehicle service station, motor vehicle garage, motor vehicle service station with fast food, car washes, arcades, amusement parks, motor car and dog racetracks, adult entertainment facilities, wholesale warehouse, bulk fuel storage. All of these are allowed by right or by permit of city council in a BH. It would also change best being allowed by special permit of the planning board instead of being allowable by right. any uses that may become disallowed by this proposed zoning change will remain pre-existing non-conforming so long as those uses do not cease to operate for more than 2 years. Should they cease for more than 2 years, they will revert to the uses allowed in the underlying BC zone. Do we have any comments from anyone on the board? Or does staff want to clarify anything? And do we have any comments from the public? Okay. Hearing no further comments, I would like to make a motion to continue these hearings to, what is our second meeting in September?
That would be September 22nd.
To September 22nd.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Seconding.
Roll call vote for Lauren,
Yes.
Rosanna,
Yes, ma'am.
Paul,
Yes.
and Scott.
Yes.
Okay. Do I have a motion to open the Holyoke Planning Board public meeting of Tuesday, June 23rd, 2026?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote for Lauren,
Yes.
Rosanna,
Yes, ma'am.
Paul, and Paul,
Yes.
sorry.
Yes,
And
I knew who you were talking to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, do we have a draft? So taking up item number 1, special permit section 6464, increase in sign size and multiple for Stack for Holyoke and Main LLC 679 and 689 Main Street, SP 2026-8. Do we have a draft notice of decision that we could go over for this one?
yes, I can share it.
Thank you.
Oh, that was in the wrong one, sorry.
I think yeah, it's, where did it go?
Yeah, I'm in
Let me
620.
re-upload it because I know I'm gonna re-upload it to, it was there. I mean, I kid you not. Just give me 1 second, please.
Okay.
Wait, planning board. 3. So if you go down to the stack item, draft NOD is in the folder to the bottom where it says, there you go. No, it should be there. It's, so if you go to, let's see, go to planning board 623.
Yep.
Then if you go down to the where it's after number 6, are you in the right folder? It's 623. Yep. Know what folder? I'm in 623. Let's see.
Is it in
Right
this
there.
one?
Right down. Right? Nope.
This one?
Yes. Why it's showing up on my computer? Okay,
Maybe
let me
it's
try. Let me
not.
try uploading it again. Give me 1 second, please.
Okay.
Site. Try it again.
There we go.
So again, this is just a draft notice of decision based on the review of the plans provided. It's at the end of the day, it's still the board's decision. I know we did question this evening for clarity, which I did highlight in yellow some of the things that, based on what was in the application versus what was presented. So, there are some areas there where we will need to update those numbers. For instance, the pylon sign is, as mentioned this evening, is 93.3 square feet. And I have it down as 91 because I just did some quick math. So where you see it's highlighted yellow under project description, that would be the number you'd want to install or replace. Under project description. Yep, see where this says 91?
Yeah, sorry. What am I putting there?
93.3.
Gotcha. I don't know what's going on with my computer. Sorry. 93.1?
3.
93. Gotcha.
And you can delete the other applicant to specify. Thank you.
So we'll just add in the breakdown of the signs under findings.
Well, right. So with that, the board did ask for a revised that could be a condition item that prior to that the applicant provide a breakdown, including all signs by square foot.
Yeah, I think they seemed to be going to do that quickly. So should we just add that in as
Yeah,
number?
yes. It'd be a fourth condition.
Condition below.
Condition under the decision.
So applicant to provide individual size.
I can't really hear. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Applicant to provide individual sign size.
Oh. You got it, Jeff?
I mean, everything else looks good to me. Does anybody else have thoughts?
Well, I think this covers it.
Okay, so then do I have a motion to approve the special permit?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote for Lauren,
Yes.
Rosanna,
Yes, Nan.
Paul,
Yes.
and Scott.
Yes.
And then can we pull up the notice of decision for the Holyoke Mall increase in sign size and multiple?
So there's, I don't know what's going on with my computer right now. It looks like I'm frozen on my main screen. I can't even move.
Parker, would it be possible for you to share so we can, well, Brianna figures out what's going on with her computer?
Give me
It
one
looks like
second. For some
the
reason,
NOD did not.
yeah,
get
give me
it
1
to
second,
all
please.
in.
For some reason, my computer was acting up all afternoon, and everything I think I uploaded didn't upload. So please bear with me. I will add that momentarily.
I have access again, so if you need me to pull it up, I will.
No, hang on 1 second. I'm just gonna. So you can pull it up now. It should be
Okay.
there. The one thing that's a point of information is that the east and west need to be clarified because it was 3 on the west and 2 on the east. And we'll have to after we will update the correct square footages, but I know that we went around the mall, and so we'll probably have to update the square footages as listed here.
Okay, and then don't we have to add in the pylon too?
Well, for the pylon was actually compliant
Oh, okay.
because that was only 52 square feet.
You're right. Okay.
So
Okay. So can we just scroll down and see? Okay. So do I have a motion to approve the special permit pending the updates as discussed in the public hearing?
So moved.
Seconded.
Roll call vote for Lauren,
Yes.
Rosanna,
Yes, ma'am.
Paul,
Yes.
and Scott.
Yes.
And then going on to the special permit increase in size sign and multiple for Shimmerhorns. Do we have a draft for that?
I do not. Just the staff ran out of time. Staff was, I was in meetings till almost 5:30, so
No, it's fine.
definitely.
So how is the board feeling about this? I feel like we can grant them the special permit up to 80 feet per side.
I think that's how I feel.
Okay.
Work with what you've got. I mean, if he really wants to go to ZBA and then to court, God bless him. Because I can't imagine he'll get that past ZBA.
My only, my friend, you'll be surprised. My issue with them is that we tell them one thing and they do something else always, which is why this project has dragged so much. Because we say one thing, they don't like what we say, so they go somewhere else to get the answers that they want. So put that on record.
I wish I understood why they needed to non-conform. Like what it just
Because
seems very
their
arbitrary.
position is that they had them before and they took them down, and so they should be able to put them back up. But
That isn't the act of changing it that substantially. I mean, it's no longer a non-conforming prior use.
Correct. 100%. Yes.
Yeah. So that's that. And I mean, I guess he's just stubborn. So God bless you. Be stubborn.
Yeah. So, like, the two
fairly
options we have are to just deny the special permit, or we can grant a special permit up to 80 square feet per side.
We would give anybody else 80 square feet per side. So
Agreed. Yeah.
Take your 80 feet per 80 square feet per side. I cannot imagine if you went further with this that that's going to sound unreasonable.
Correct.
But who knows? So I think that's the best option. You can have your 80 square feet, figure it out, and I'll make that motion.
Okay. Do we can we make that motion to draft it at the decision at
Yes.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote for Lauren,
Yes.
Rosanna,
Yes, ma'am.
Paul,
Yes.
and Scott.
Yes.
Okay. And then we have the special permit to exceed fence height for Maddie at 187 West Franklin Street. Do we have a draft for that one?
We do not.
Okay. I'm very comfortable in saying that we can draft something to approve that and grant that special permit based on everything we heard tonight. Are you guys good to make a motion?
I absolutely. So
Okay.
I'll move we approve it subject to drafting give me the wording. I've been up since 4:30.
Yeah, drafting a notice of decision.
A notice of decision. Thank you.
Okay. So you guys will trust us to draft the notice of decision?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic.
This is pretty basic. If you screw
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
we have other problems.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote for Lauren,
Yes.
Rosanna,
Yes, ma'am.
Paul,
Yes.
and Scott.
Yes.
So I believe we have 10 days to draft from the close of the public hearing. So we do have some time, but as soon as we get the drafts, we can work through that and, provide them back to you, Lauren, for your review and final signature.
Okay, sounds great.
Thank you.
And then obviously the zone change, we've continued now, the zone change for Sargent Street, BG to DR, we've continued to August 25th, so we can get some clarity on the parking situation and the property lines.
Right.
I didn't understand that. Like, if you've had that property for damn near half a century, like, why now is it a big issue? Because that parking lot has I live down the street from there. That parking lot has always been used. There's a shelter across the street. The elderly that live there, they set up dominoes tables there and they play right there. Like, I am so confused of why this was such a big deal for him after 500 years.
Yeah, and to your point, Rosanna, you can just write into the lease that you can't use the parking lot.
That's what I'm like. You can put a towing, like, you can do so many things.
What would if we did change it to DR for our own edification, what would the required parking be for that?
Well, what's historically happened is when there's a change of use of a building,
Yeah.
so presumably if they're going to legalize the idea of 2 additional units, they would need to go for a special permit to reduce.
Okay.
So like in the past, I'm going to say formally when, this dates back years, when Damian Cody was here, there was a house, I want to say on Sycamore, that was a 1 family that they wanted to convert to a 2. So with that, they applied for a special permit to go to essentially 0, and the planning board later, after hearing from the applicant and considering all the testimony, agreed to approve it to 0, knowing that there was on-street parking, but that there could be an accommodation through the alley for maybe 1 or 2 cars. I don't remember the exact address, but I remember the scenario. So similarly, this conversion or legalization of the upper floors, presumably, and I could still talk to Kevin about this. I actually did text Davin earlier to see where we were in that discussion, because really, I mean, the zone change is one thing, and you don't really zone change necessarily for a project. It's really supposed to be for the highest and best use of the parcel. So with that, there would be certain accommodations that you still might see that applicant back here eventually prior to the issuance of a building permit they may need to secure. And I'm thinking off the top of my head right now. So, I'm going to say that I would still want to talk to zoning about this, but that they may require a special permit to bring the new use into compliance, which would then mean that they'd have to come back and then the planning board could put reasonable conditions on that special permit should they choose to approve it. But at that point, it could be that you keep your stuff on your side of the property line. It could be that there appears to be some space behind the building, and I don't know what the topography looks like, but they may have to make a further accommodation to at least show 1 or 2 spaces for those 4 units. If the board didn't want to necessarily go to 0, they might say, well, show me where you could park at least 2, 1 for each unit. So, I mean, there are certain criteria or conditions that could be added to a special permit eventually.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay, and then the next zone change we continued until September. What was the meeting?
September 22nd.
Okay. Moving on to planning board business. I just have to pull up. We received another open meeting law complaint that the noticing wasn't done correctly on the comprehensive plan revision, like zoning ordinance package. So that has been given to legal. Legal is going to respond. So project updates, old business, new business, SPR amendment, NOD number 126, amendment number 3, 170 Sargent Street, ESB, becoming True North site sign package. Do we want to go through that? Do we have anything to go through?
We do, and I know that Heather is available to present, and it's more or less just. Thank you for waiting. Thank you very much.
Oh, no problem. I learned so much about Holyoke tonight. I am here to answer any questions if you have any questions.
Okay.
So can you just kind of go through your well, I don't know if you want us to share the screen, or either Brianna, if you could please share the screen. Just kind of going through the revisions.
Sure.
I know it's more or less, there's nothing really changing. It's just the rebranding, or rather rebranding. It's East Hampton Savings Bank becoming True North, and therefore they're
Correct.
changing all the signage on site. So in compliance with the notice of decision, which basically says any change to the plans, that they offered to come back or present, or they presented their revised sign plan, and so this is basically just checking a box that they've presumably complied.
We complied with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is a name change. There's several locations in Western Mass that I'm working on. And once we get to the drawings, I can just show you. So basically for the monument sign, it's just a new face. The structure will stay in place. They're just going to remove the face on the cabinet and replace it. It's a non-illuminated face with push-through illuminated white acrylic letters. Everything else remains the same. The structure does not change. And then there are 2 wall signs currently internally illuminated. They'll be removed, replaced with internally illuminated letters on a raceway at the same location.
Okay.
The existing letters are about 28 square foot and the proposed are 35. So they are a little larger, just so you're aware.
Okay, but
But
we're still
not exceeding the 40 square feet.
right.
No, nope.
Okay, thank you.
And I didn't show on the plans, but they are going to update the directional signage with vinyl overlays. I didn't include that, but we usually don't include the directionals, but just so you're aware of that, they will update those.
But the size won't change.
No, for the directionals, no.
Okay. Anybody have any
That's
questions?
about it.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Do we have a draft NOD that we have to go over for
No,
that?
so this is more or less a project update.
Okay,
Eventually,
that's what
what
I
we'll
thought.
do is we'll just draft a letter to put into the file. I mean, we've already put the images in the file, but just
Okay.
that this is essentially like an amendment number 1 type of thing. Or I think at this point it's amendment number, they're listed here.
3.
Yeah, it's number 3. Yeah. So
Jeff, would you just be able to send me a copy of that and I'll upload it to the sign application online? And they'll
I
just
will. Just note that I'll be drafting it. I'm out the next couple of days, so I won't be able to
Okay, no
draft it till early next week.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
But then the building department will have record of it because we've already applied.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, have a good evening.
Meeting schedule. We have no
So
meeting.
we have no scheduled meeting for July 14th. July 28th, we have the zone change for BG. We have the continuation of the special permit for Rafael and Sheila Rivera from Beach Street. They were here at the 6/9 meeting that was continued. We also have Key Food signs for special permit for increase in sign size. Let's see, what else am I looking at here? Key Foods. Well, at one point I thought there might have been a continuation, but that can now be removed because that's now continued further out. But since then also we had the not continuation. I may be receiving something from Amazon. It's tentative, but they want to make some amendments to their offsite parking as well as their offsite parking lot and regarding the trailers at their 161 Lower Westfield Road site. But I have not heard from them, but it was something discussed a couple weeks ago now. So I'm tentatively putting that on the agenda, but it all depends on their submission. Then moving forward to August 11th, we currently have nothing on the agenda. August 25th, we have the native plants continued, and now the 172 Sargent Street zone change continued. And then going further out, September 8th, we have the ISO 6-month update. And then September 22nd, we have zoning revisions continued from 6/23.
Other business. We obviously received back the draft of the comp plan just very recently. So hopefully everybody's getting a chance to take a look at that and let us know your thoughts.
And I guess to confirm, does everyone on the board, did everyone receive the link to that, or do you want us to forward you a copy?
I received it.
I received it.
Yeah. Nice to begin to explore that. And I can tell, having seen documents like this edited over months, I know how much work went into it on both ends.
Well, also just please note that there might be another revision as well, based on this most recent final document.
Do you have specifics on what's changing?
I think it's a further addressing the comment letter that was sent from a combination of board comments and staff comments, and just some of those responses, but also in reference to a further, I don't know if exploration might be the right word, but a further increase in information relative to the Puerto Rican Cultural District that might not be as not expansive, not be as
inclusive as we'd like.
Thank you, as we would like. Thank you.
We'll look for that.
Okay. We have minutes.
And so the minutes as listed, I just want to make one quick comment, and this was something that was myself or Lauren and myself had discussed a couple days ago. The executive session meeting minutes that you see here are merely the approval of executive session minutes. So therefore, or arguably, if eventually we've got to put them on a regular agenda, otherwise, if we keep going into executive session, it would just be a self-perpetuating, we'd have it on every agenda. So that's what those are. The approval of meeting minutes that were approved.
So has everyone had a chance to review the minutes? And
I'm going to have to abstain anyway because I wasn't at any of those meetings. So
I skimmed through them.
okay. Scott, do you feel confident for voting on them?
I did not look at this folder, y'all. I'm sorry.
Okay. So then we can't approve them tonight. We need to put it onto the next one.
Right.
Okay. So that will be those. Let's all read them by our next meeting, which is July 28th, and be ready to approve at that point.
Yes, please. And just note that, I know that the law department has said that minutes need to be complete and signed off on within 6 weeks. So my only concern is just we're gonna on some of these. Some of the more recent ones, they're being pushed beyond that 6.
Yeah, but
I
without
know.
having everyone here tonight,
Right.
and not having a meeting next time. Unfortunately,
Right.
that is the situation that we are in.
I do want to make it known I will have a lot on July 28th. So just a heads up.
So I'm not here on July 28th. Is there any way to send in a proxy just in case you don't have everyone for approving minutes? Is there any way to do
I mean, typically for the approval of minutes,
Yeah.
we only need 3 members.
Okay.
So with that, right now Kate, Rosanna, Paul, and Scott, you're all set for the 28th, correct?
Unless something dramatic happens, yes.
I hear you. Okay.
Unless
Thank
I see a nice bar and I get squirrel.
They're gonna
Those are-
finish the Skirmerhorn seafood deck. Yeah.
Right.
I've been waiting forever, but they do whatever they want.
It's gonna
Don't
happen.
hold your breath.
All right.
Nah,
He's
Scott.
gonna fight. He's gonna fight. So
All right. So we'll take up minutes at that one. I guess that's it, unless anybody has anything. Do I have a motion to close the planning board meeting?
Oh, I had a question. What is the once you complete the further edits to the comprehensive plan, is there a moment where a horn is tooted and it appears, or I'm just feeling so many of our neighbors coming out to these meetings. Just curious what the
So the process
I know
would be
it's
that we have to adopt it as a
yeah.
planning board. So,
Yeah.
and then once the comprehensive plan is adopted, then I believe agency and will come and present it to us, and maybe that will happen on the adoption night. There's a lot of back and forth happening right now. And
Yeah.
then the mayor will roll it out to the city, and hopefully there will be some public engagements of great, now we have this comprehensive plan. How do we put it into action?
Yeah.
And I would imagine we'll look at all sorts of things at that point.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all imagination at this point. It's not.
I hear you.
Yeah. I was hoping that we would have it sooner. It just keeps getting kicked down the road. So that's part of why I suggested to put the zoning so far out.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we need the comp plan to continue that zoning conversation.
Got it.
Okay. Do I have a motion to close the meeting?
moved.
Second.
Roll call vote for Lauren,
Yes.
Rosanna,
Yes, ma'am.
Paul,
Yes.
and Scott.
Yes.
Lauren, thank you so much.